Hi there, Chris here with another fresh tip for you all. In this video, we are going to take a look at painting the Spinefin from Elathain's Soul Raiders from Warhammer Underworlds DireChasm. So the model's already been assembled and primed. I use Stanolres White to prime the model. We're going to get things started with Contrast Voluptuous Pink and some Contrast Medium Technical. We're going to put 2 drops onto the palette, and then we're going to add 2 drops of Medium. And basically we're going to go for kind of a 1-to-1 mix ratio with the medium. We don't really want it too heavily saturated. And basically I'm going to take one brush, begin laying down the color, and then I'm going to come in with a clean, dry brush and feather out the color and create a slight gradient down the fin. Now with this gradient, I'm not looking to saturate the entire area. In fact, I'm only going to go about 2/3 the way down the fin, allowing it to taper off into a white near the tips. But I want it strong closest to the body, so we're going to slap a little bit more down onto this fin. And again, we are going to feather it out, only going about 2/3 the way across the fin detail itself, leaving lots of that color saturated in closest to the body itself. Along the tail here, again, it's the same kind of process. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward moving across the model, and really for a lot of you out there who have never done anything like this, do not be afraid to give it a try. It's a lot of fun. It's a great exercise in learning how to manipulate the color and all that kind of goodness. Here you can see I'm just simply base coating the rest of the body with this thinned out Voluptuous Pink. Really I'm just looking to kind of just build up on the color, and here I'm going to put in a second layer on the fins, and you'll notice that I'm also kind of tapping and stippling further away from where it's getting darker, and I just want to create like some indication of spots and things of that nature, again keeping with an organic feel for the fish. After that layer's dry, and of course, and I've worked my way all around the model, I am going to again lay a little bit more down and build up some more of that intensity of color. I want it to be nice and bold as it gets closer to the body of the fish. And then here on the basically the spine of the fish, I am going to build up more color. And in fact, I put down, I think, 2 layers down, just kind of like almost like a stripe, really. You can see on this side here how it's really quite blank on the body. And then once I lay another layer down, you'll see that we get a slight gradient on the body where it's darker up on the spine, and then closer to the belly it's a little bit brighter. Wasn't the intention to make it really contrasty like that, but just some color variation, and again is to help kind of keep with that organic feel of this guy. Aethermatic Blue from Citadel Contrast with a helping of Contrast Medium. We're going to slap 2 drops down onto the palette, and yes, we're going to put 2 drops of Medium in, going for a 1-to-1 mix ratio, Contrast to Medium, and we are going to begin applying this on top of the ends of the fins. Now you can see here, again, kind of like our similar process as before, we lay a little heavy amount down, and then with a clean dry brush, we feather out the color, and with this, I'm just bringing it down so it kind of mingles with the very light tones of the Voluptuous Pink that we had previously done. So again, with this, it's just really kind of getting these initial transitions laid out. Now, when we are doing this kind of thing with contrast paints or any kind of clear colors, as there's many out there, really what we're looking for is building up a slow gradient. If we were working with an airbrush, this would be accomplished quite quickly. If we were working with, a wet on wet blend, this would be accomplished quite quickly. But with a lot of miniature painting, we do a lot of glazing, and I think really for a lot of people, especially newer people, this is something that I think a lot of new people struggle with, and basically it is good to get a handle on this early on as you progress as a miniature painter. Once that first layer is dry, we're going to come back in and reestablish some deeper tones. We are going to allow some of that color to build up near the main spines on the fins, but otherwise I want to build the intensity of color out towards the ends of the fins. Now, the one thing I have not mentioned since the beginning of this video is that the inspiration for this color pattern is actually borrowed from the live example of a fish. A beta fish is what I'm going by here. You can see I'm just simply feathering that off really quick. And again, the bottom portion, I just feather it out really fast, leaving some of that heavy saturation on some of those points. But otherwise, yeah, we're just simply laying color down and then feather it off. And that's really, key. And of course, we could do this quite a few times to build up a really smooth gradient. I'm not too concerned with that, as I'm simply demonstrating this, and this is for funsies. And in fact, I may even play with this model at some point. Here you can see we're coming back to the well, and we're just really building up the color towards the spines. I even run a little color through the spine, again, kind of following the lines. And I'm not worried about like laying any kind of texture down, but I do want a heavy saturation of color near the ends of the fins. So you can see we are going to apply a few more layers down. I think this is like the third or fourth layer I've done, but again, this is still that thinned out mixture, so you do get a bit of life out of it, especially if you work somewhat quickly. In between phases, I actually use a hair dryer as well. Aethermatic blue, all on its lonesome. I do believe we are not thinning this down, and really quickly here I'm just building up a heavy saturation of color, just essentially at the very tips of these membranes of the fins, between the spines on the fins. I don't know what the anatomy is. Don't ask. So here you can see, again, we're just building up the color. In some areas where the color might be a little bit blotchy or, just not that even. And again, I want this to be almost like a pure aethermatic blue, just on that end millimeter of the fin. That's all I'm looking for. So here you can see on the ends of this tail. And if you Google beta fish, which again, like I said, this is the inspiration for this color pattern, you probably will find the image in which this is inspired from. Screamer Pink is next from Citadel. This is the base color. We're going to slap a little bit onto the palette, and we're going to use some Elathain medium, just a drop to thin it down. It's kind of like a 1-to-1 mix ratio. I'm not looking to break this down all the way to a glaze, but it's pretty darn close. And with this, all I'm looking for is basically deepening that tone on the spine of the main body. I also run it into the kind of like those little, they're like almost like gill shapes on the side, right where those spikes are on the side, is on his flanks of the fish. And I run a little bit more deeper color, and also where the little spines kind of run down, I also throw a little bit of color down as well. And I'm just kind of redefining some of these shapes here that are going on, and just kind of, again, like I'm making this up sort of as I go. I mean, I have an image in front of me that is the inspiration for this coloring, but how it all works, in conjunction with the overall look of this guy, again, I'm kind of just making it up. So I'm just, again, there's a difference between, staying close to the source material and just, using it for inspiration. And I'm just using the image of the beta fish as a rough guide for the coloring. We're going to jump over to some Elathain Gray with some Elathain Medium. Again, we're going to slap a drop down and a drop of medium, 1-to-1, so to speak. Give it a quick little mix, make sure it's thoroughly mixed, and then we're going to quickly do a highlight on the spines. And because we have it in a thinned out fashion, and there is residual dampness in the bristles, that it actually applies fairly thin, so actually we can get a little bit of a gradient out of this. If you're not quite confident, you could add another drop of medium to this and really thin it down, but make sure that you do not have that much on your bristles, because again, it can pool up, run off, and just take off on you on the model, and then it'll just, disrupt everything. You don't really want it too thin when you're doing this kind of stuff. You want it, still mostly paint-like. And again, you want to maintain that there's not much paint on your bristles, maintain a lot of control, and of course keep a very light hand, as this is essentially just an edge highlight that I'm running on these spines, but I'm building up more of the color at the tips of the spines, so we get a slight gradient running down towards the body, but it gets bright near the ends of the spines, and that's what we're looking for. Here you can see we're simply just, again, following the same thing. So I kind of start in the middle where the blue tones and the pink tones or magenta tones kind of meet, where it's still kind of white on the fin. I start at that point because I'm not too worried about the brightness, and basically I just kind of build it out towards the end of the fin and in towards the body of the fish. And then I simply come in and just lay a little bit more down on the ends of the fins. Here on the face, I simply go around the mouth, just doing a quick little edge highlight. I'll also catch the eye. I'm also going to bring a little bit of attention to the jaw, and I'll also run that all the way through the inside of the jaw. So you can see I kind of go over the tooth and then just over the I don't know what that big spike coming out of his bottom jaw is. I don't know what that is, but also on the shoulder of his lower fin, I also catch the highlights on the leading edge, the forward edge of the fish, and also where his cheeks are. I also lay a little bit more down. I also lay a little highlight down on where those little kind of angular gill slits, I don't know what those are, right by those spikes. I don't know. He's got lots of details on him despite being a tiny little guy. Here you can see I'm just laying a little bit of color down on the cheeks and just catching more of the mouth. And I had considered many different ways of going about this, but I decided, no, we'll just start laying some light gray down. And again, it gives us a nice framing on the face and brings lots of attention to his face. Xeris Purple is next. We're going to slap a little bit onto the palette. We're going to use a drop of medium, as you might have guessed. It's a kind of a 1-to-1. Give it a quick mix. And of course, we're going to catch the ends of the spines, if the camera stays in focus. And with this, we are basically going to call her done, I think, for the moment. But no, we're not. Actually, we're going to continue on with this purple, and we're going to lay a little bit of spots down just on the spine of the fish itself. So we're just going to create some spots there, just again to really kind of create a little bit of a texture on the surface, because a flat bold color like that with very minimal highlights and such, it'll look like we didn't do anything. And if we just simply throw some spots on, it looks like we did a lot. So I grabbed some water, grab just the tiniest amount of the color, break it into a very thin glaze, and then push this basically where the fins meet the body. And so with this color, it changes the overall feeling on the fins themselves, but in fact it gives us a nice rich purple value to play along with the magenta values. And in fact, I go about halfway from the fins and push towards the body, and you can see how it already changes the overall look of the model. And with this, I think we will call it done. And then I think in the second part, we're going to finish off the base. But with that, I'm pretty happy with where this is going, and so stay tuned here. You can see we're just going to quickly feather out some of that color. Some of those little step lines are just a little bit too abrupt, so just always really quick, if you ever find that kind of thing, you just quickly rinse off your brush and just feather that off really fast. Stay tuned for part 2. Big thank you to my patrons. Without their support, these videos would not be possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below. You'll be taken off to Patreon, where there are various tiers of support, and a huge thank you to everybody who does take care of those brushes, and they will take care of you.